I used to stay where I wasn't valued. Used to explain what I shouldn't have to. Gave too much to the wrong people. Stayed too long and things unequal. But that version of me don't live here no more. I don't beg, I don't chase, I don't force. If it don't feel right, I let it go. If it don't see me, I let it go. I'm not who I used to be.
Welcome back to Can We Talk with Juel podcast. This is the Navigating Toxic Work Environment series, the podcast where we discuss the things people basically whisper about in break rooms, type into Google at 2 a.m., and suddenly remember during mandatory HR meetings. Yes, the toxic work environment. And baby, this story today comes with receipts. We are talking about former Equinox fitness manager Röbynn Europe, who was awarded $11.25 million. Yes, you heard me correctly. After a federal jury found that racial discrimination played a role in her termination. Now, Equinox argued that she was fired because she was late 47 times over approximately 10 months. When I first read that, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I paused. 47 times? Honey, at that point, you're not just late. You operate in a completely different time zone.
I know I'm coming. They know I'm coming. I know they gonna be there, and they know I'm gonna do the best job I can possibly do.
But hold on, guys. Don't let half of LinkedIn start typing, but she was late, because Röbynn looked them dead in the eye, went to federal court, and said, oh, we're playing the clock game, are we? Let's look at the other clocks then. Europe successfully argued that other white managers had similar attendance issues but weren't disciplined the same way. The jury sided with her and awarded $10 million in punitive damages, which is court speak for stop being racist, and $1.25 million for emotional distress. The question wasn't simply whether she was late. The question was she treated differently than other employees? And apparently, the jury believed she was. Evidence reportedly included attendance data comparing that. And they were rolling in. Apparently, the other managers were rolling in late, sipping their high-end smoothies, completely unbothered and unpunished at that. But when Röbynn did it, suddenly it's a corporate crisis. That's where things got expensive, you know? Suddenly, they discovered the phrase, we value diversity. And so that led many of us to want to discover who was her lawyer. I mean, can we talk? Because providing workplace discrimination in a federal court is notoriously difficult. It's harder than finding a quiet spot in an airport, ladies and gentlemen. Most employees don't have smoking gun email. Managers rarely send Slack messages saying, good morning, team. Today's agenda, discrimination. No, most cases live in the land of selective enforcement, inconsistent discipline, retaliation claims, performance reviews that suddenly change overnight, and supervisors who completely become allergic to you the second you file a complaint. According to reports, Europe's attorney was Susan Miller. And I know, some listeners are already grabbing their pens asking, Juel, can I get a number, please? Just shoot a number over. Slow down, cousins. Slow down. But seriously, whoever it is needs a permanent seat at the table. They didn't just win. They dismantled a corporate defense because workplace discrimination cases are a grueling mountain to climb. Employers have substantial resources, high-priced legal teams, and time, guys, on their side. And speaking of what they do with that time, we're going to dive into that dirty tactics that corporations use to drain you dry before you even smell a courtroom. Right after this quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. This episode is sponsored by the Department of Document Everything. Were you told one thing on Monday, something completely different on Wednesday, and by Friday your manager claims they never said either? Introducing CYA email. Because screenshots last longer than verbal promises. Document, save, forward to your personal email. The Department of Document Everything, serving employees since the invention of corporate gaslighting. And we're back. Let's talk about the actual toxic workplace playbook. You know the signs. The meeting after the meeting. The secret meeting before the meeting. The manager who smiles and says, "We're family here," but treats you like an unwanted cousin at Thanksgiving. Yes, yes. It's the coworker who gets away with absolute murder. The employee who misses deadlines, arrives late, disappears for 3 hours, and somehow receives Employee of the Month. Meanwhile, you sneeze wrong, and suddenly there's a performance improvement plan sitting at your desk. Can we talk about it? Yes, guys, companies do not play fair when you challenge the status quo. Their first strategy isn't to look inward, of course not. It's to protect the brand. The managers who promoted the entire toxic culture, well, they get desperate. And that's when the psychological warfare begins. Yes, dare I say it. You know, many employees who pursue discrimination claims report feeling isolated, stressed, and emotionally exhausted. Not because they're weak, because prolonged workplace conflict is a slow drain on your health, your confidence, your family life, and your finances. Let's be completely real about this, guys. Sometimes it feels so coordinated, dark, and heavy. It's like they recruited an actual occult group to systematically stalk, gaslight, and harass you into supposed insanity. You start wondering if you're losing your mind. But let me tell you something. No, you are not crazy. You are just witnessing a corporate cabal trying to protect its power. They want you isolated. They want you broken. But you don't have to fight the matrix alone, guys. And we're going to talk about how to survive it right after this commercial break. This episode is also brought to you by fundraisingcup.org. Awareness is the first step, but action is what creates safety. At fundraisingcup.org, we are dedicated to raising awareness, exposing systemic exploitation, and providing direct protective resources for victims of abuse. Don't let them suffer in silence. Visit fundraisingcup.org today. And hey, while you're protecting your peace, are your corporate meetings feeling a little too spiritually taxing? Tune in this Wednesday for Generational Curse Breakers, right here on Can We Talk with Juel. Learn the tools to identify toxic behavioral cycles, pack your bags, and reclaim your peace. Because the only thing you should be inheriting is wealth, not workplace trauma. Okay, welcome back to the final stretch. One of the biggest challenges, as I was mentioning before, that employees face in this fight is simply surviving the process. Lawsuits don't take months, family. They take years. Years. And while the corporate lawyers are filing extension after extension to purposely drag out discovery and bleed your retainer dry, guess what? People still have rent to pay, mortgages, children, groceries. Maybe even therapy bills to deal with all this trauma and car payments. Sometimes people settle not because they are wrong and not because they lost their backbone. Sometimes they settle because life is expensive and they are forced into financial starvation tactics. That's a conversation many people don't want to have. Justice delayed can feel like justice denied. That is why you have to take care of your mental health, guys. Look at the big picture, and sometimes you just need an actual escape. Let's take one final quick break because, baby, I know your spirit needs a vacation. Is your corporate inbox giving you eye twitches? Are you tired of circling back, touching base, and putting out fires that aren't yours? It is time to close the laptop and grab your passport. Whether you need a solo retreat or realign your spirit, a luxury beach getaway to completely unplug, or a cultural expedition across the globe, Juel's Travel Agency has been curating the perfect escapes for over 6 years. We don't just book trips, we rescue your peace of mind. Let us handle the logistics while you handle the relaxation. Stop checking your Slack and start checking your flight status. Book your next getaway today and let's turn that out-of-office automated reply on for good. And we're back. Turn that out-of-office message on permanently in your mind, honey. But until you pack those bags, you cannot let them isolate you while you're still on the clock. I want to give a special, major shout out to Jackie Abrams on LinkedIn. If you are currently sitting at your desk, looking at your manager, feeling your blood pressure rise, and needing actual practical aid and resources regarding workplace discrimination and employee advocacy, open your phone right now. Go to LinkedIn, look up Jackie Abrams, and give her a follow. When you're navigating workplace issues, having professional guidance, solid documentation, and legal advice from qualified professionals makes all the distinction between drowning and surviving. Shout out to Jackie for doing the real work on the ground to protect people from these corporate vampires. Now, the lesson from the Röbynn Europe case isn't, hey, everyone, show up late. Please don't do that. Go to work tomorrow and tell your boss Juel said it was cool to just stroll on in whenever you feel like it. No. The lesson is this. Consistency matters. Policies should apply equally. Rules should apply equally. Accountability should apply equally. Because when organizations apply rules differently, depending on the skin color or the background of the person standing in front of them, a federal jury may eventually have a whole lot to say about it. And based on this case, that opinion might cost them millions. Keep your eyes open, keep your receipts, keep your screenshots, and most importantly, guys, keep your peace. I'm Juel. This has been Can We Talk with Juel, Navigating Toxic Work Environment series. Until next time, remember the break room knows everything. Catch y'all on the next episode. Love you all. Bye.